A very different Jonathan Taylor talking to the media this week compared to last week. Last week, it was kind of defensive and sort of weird, and today, not so much. He knows he's back. He knows he feels good. He knows the contract situation's behind him. He knows that what he's got to concentrate on right now is football and beating the Jacksonville Jaguars and running behind what to this point has been a really good offensive line. We had a chance to catch up with Jonathan Taylor today.
To be able to kind of get that shock to the body, but also just the emotions of just finally being back on the field, finally being able to move and feel like yourself, it was a really special moment. And I'm thankful I was able to do it at home, and it wasn't an away game, and other fans got to experience it as well.
Did you feel like yourself?
I definitely did. It was like I said, it was weird at first because the speed of the game, no matter how much of a pro you are, if you've been out for an extended period of time, you just need those one or two plays to kind of reset back and like, okay, yeah, I got the speed of the game now again. I know what it's like. But that was a real fun experience. I'm happy that I was able to, like I said, do it in front of the home crowd and not an away crowd.
JT, the reception from the fans, saw you point to the fans. It's incredible. Every person on their feet. I joked that if the roof weren't open, it would have been blown open because of the reception. What was the emotion like for you?
It was high, and I mentioned this in the presser after the game. We have some of the best fans in the world. So to be able to come out, debut in front of these fans and no one else, it was perfect.
Jonathan, you just have this limited role right now until you kind of ramp all the way up back. Is it tough for a guy who's used to getting 20 carries, 30 touches, whatever a game to only be at your best, to be ready to be at your best in only 10 or 15 plays?
I think you mentioned it, to be ready to be at your best. It's tough for anybody to just come in after an extended period of time and get right into the flow of the game, have a feel for the defenses, the schemes, the offense. So just being able to work day in and day out. Today is going to be another big day. Just, the first time, you're getting multiple reps back to back in practice, and you're able to really work through some things that you need to do and clean up your technique. So it's going to be really fun today for me. I'm really excited.
JT, how different will that be from
frustrations of not being able to play? I want to get your thoughts on AR, knowing he's going to be out for 4 games. Obviously, a big role here to this football team.
Number one, I actually told him, I said, tough times don't last, tough people do. Just from experience, just coming out of an injury saga and being able to fight through that and being able to just every single day, not knowing, is today going to be the day I feel a little bit better. Let's just put some more work in. And for him, being a leader of this team, I know that it's tough for him and him being so young. I hate when rookies get hurt just because they're just getting started, they're just getting going. But I just know he's a worker. Anytime you see him, he has his iPad in his hand. So now I'll see him in the training room every single day.
JT, you just talked about getting more reps this week, like Shane just told us. How does that compare to last week? That means to just really stick your toe in the water. Will it be a big progression for you?
Yeah, that was definitely sticking my toe in the water. But I think it's also being safe. Like you meant, we talked about the practice week that I had last week. So this will be a full week of practice, which is going to be really huge because especially today on Wednesday, you're in pads, you're able to really get a lot of those high-speed reps in and really work on your craft. You could definitely work on the details when you have shells and helmets, but it's just different when you really put those pads on. So it'll be a big week to be able to continue to progress.
This will be the first one in pads then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know going through your contract situation, I'm sure it wasn't easy. I'm sure there was ups and there was downs. What did it mean to you personally to see all your teammates, once it was done, so thrilled to have you back on the football field?
It meant a lot because those are the guys who pushed me through the rehab process. Just watching them work every single day, day in and day out, to want to be back out there with those guys as fast as possible, and also knowing that they want me back out there healthy as possible as well. So, I would have drugged myself onto the field, but it was in the best interest of the entire team in order to make sure that I got 100% healthy, and they drove me. They drove me every single day through that rehab process.
How did your agent help you get that across the finish line, the deal?
The number one thing was just telling me, just stay patient, being able to continue to work with the front office. But my number one job, he's like, hey, just continue to attack that rehab room every single day. Just give it your all every single day, because when you're out there and you're ready to roll, they won't just throw you to the wolves, but you definitely have to be ready to roll.
Now, how does this one feel going to Jacksonville, having won there since 2014, chance to go in the first place in AFC South? I usually don't ask these questions, but it's a big game. So how does it feel to be knowing you're coming back, but you're coming back into like a situation where it's big?
It feels really good. It feels good, and you have to lock in and focus. a lot of big games, the way that you kind of calm all the noise down is you just focus on the small details. So trying to bring it back to that, and even though that's what I'm doing anyway, just kind of working myself back in. But I'm excited to be able to push it this week. And like you said, it's a big game, but it's only a big game if you're not prepared. We just think of this as a regular game because we know we're going to go in there prepared.
You've been watching from afar, but now, as you just mentioned, you're in first place AFC South. What do you like about this squad and what you're seeing in the locker room?
Number one, I just think the fight that we have. I think the past few games you've seen, teams throw punches, we throw two back, and I think that's just been the motto of this team this year, is just continue to be able to fight, scratch and claw, as we continue to bring this thing together into one, as we can continue to roll deep into this season.
Jonathan, how would you describe maybe your emotions this week of having everything now in the past? You got the contract, you just played your first game, just emotionally, can you describe how you feel this Wednesday maybe versus last season?
This Wednesday, it's another step. This Wednesday is another step. You got a padded practice day. So you're able to get a lot of high-speed reps in, which is good, which is what I really need. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And I got to attack this day. I can't wait to attack today to be able to build and progress, just to be able to continue to help this team.
Jonathan, we saw you be one of the first people to celebrate Zach Moss when he got over to the bench on Sunday. What excites you most, seeing the production you have from the offensive line and the compliment that you and Zach can be together in this run game?
Well, I think number one, the offensive line, it's amazing. I know there were a lot of talks last year, and I really didn't like those kind of opinions last year, just because those guys we were all fighting day in and day out, scratching and clawing, trying to bring this thing to what we know it could be. So to be able to see those guys out there with a smile on their face, dominating the other side of the ball, and then have Zach and myself just be able to run behind those guys. We know we're going to give our all every single time. I don't know a player who wouldn't give everything they had to run behind these guys, so we're really excited.
There's Jonathan Taylor saying all the right things about all the right people, the offensive line, Zach Moss, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the defense, everybody. This is a team where you feel like maybe they're kind of pulling together, fighting through some adversity with Anthony Richardson going down. Maybe Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss can kind of get some old school football in Indianapolis and make it successful in a way that it really hasn't been in the NFL for a long time.